Some Nigerians are now calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We are seeing these hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu all over social media, including Vice President Atiku Abubakar, activist Omoyele Sowore, and other Southeast leaders. And I know that this is coming especially after we saw reports from the North Katsina State, specifically of officials holding peace meetings with terrorist leaders under Operation Safe Corridor with pledges of reconciliation. Meanwhile, we know that Nnamdi Kanu, who I believe was discharged at one point in 2022 by the Court of Appeal, remains in detention. And these are the conversations that we're seeing online. Now, how do you reconcile these apparent double standard in the government's approach in dealing with Nnamdi Kanu's case? Now, do you believe there is any sort of ethnic or regional dimension to how the federal government treats security challenges in the Southeast versus the Northwest?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question, OJ. Clearly, Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended guarantees the right to peaceful assembly and association. So I'm very happy that despite the veil and the veil of silence that has existed all over the country, Nigerians are waking up to their responsibility and demanding for justice for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And if it takes for them to have a peaceful protest, then that's what it will take. I've endorsed that, that we all should speak up now. The truth is that in Nigeria there appear to exist two sets of rules. One specifically for the Igbos and another for the other Nigerians, especially in the administration of criminal justice in Nigeria, where an Igbo man, goes through a whole lot of challenges than any other tribe in Nigeria. That bias, I don't know where it exists and comes from, maybe since after the post-Civil War. But we are all Nigerians, regardless of our ethnic backgrounds, regardless of our cultural backgrounds. The same right that exists for a Northerner, for a Yoruba man, for any other tribe otherwise minded, is the same right that should exist for the Igbo man. There shouldn't be any special exceptions. Look at Nnamdi Kanu. See, look at what we are fighting is even to get treatment. There are a whole lot of people in that gap previously that were held by the state that even demanded to go overseas to get treatment for their ailments. But in Nnamdi Kanu, it seems that we have to go 10 steps further, sometimes more challenges, uphill task, to even get the government to consider giving adequate medical treatment to Nnamdi Kanu. You also look at in the administration of criminal justice, the charges that have been put forth to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, when others that were also in the same gap were pardoned or exonerated by the court. At the determination of the court, they were free. But Nnamdi Kanu has been subjected for 10 years in trial. 10 years in trial, and to no end would that happen. So, but as of today, a lot of Nigerians are coming together to say enough is enough. Look at the recent pardon of Mr. President. He pardoned everybody, even those who are drug lords, those who have murdered people in the country. Yet Nnamdi Kanu has not been proved either through the court testimonies of witnesses or otherwise minded that he has committed any offense. Yet he's been subjugated and he's been subjected to almost like his rights as a person have been dehumanized. So what we are asking for is for the government to be able to look critically on the issue of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to ensure that fundamentally that this is the aspirations and hope of people, especially of the Igbo tribe, that if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is released, it will bring about it will bring security in the Southeast. It would enhance productivity, and at the same time allow the Igbos to freely be engaged in various activities that Igbos are running away from because of high crime and criminality, banditry and assassination. So for Mr. President. It would also help Mr. President consolidate his goodwill in the Southeast. But for him, and then you look at, I'm sorry to say, but when you look at his prosecution team, every member of his prosecution team are Yoruba. So the judge is Yoruba. It now appears as if it's a war between the Yoruba tribe and the Igbo tribe. It shouldn't be like that. So for us, it is critically important for the government to be circumspect about this, and the Igbos are asking for it, and that this is our this is our hope and aspiration, that the president can consider universally the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, so that Southeast can return to peace, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu can come to his family and be engaged in productive activities as he has been previously. That he's demanding and demanding for the welfare and well-being of his people is not it's not a crime. Right. Anybody can demand for the betterment of their people. After all, their people, which are the Igbos, themselves have felt exceedingly marginalized in this project called Nigeria. But we are Nigerians. We need to come together and work together, hand in hand, to ensure that what is good for the other tribes, what is good for every other person is also good for the Igbo man, and begin to stop this hatred, biases that occur when it's an Igbo man than otherwise stated. Right, so I'm pleading with Mr. President, I'm pleading.
Go ahead. You were saying you're pleading to Mr. President, but I wanted to take you on that.
We're pleading with Mr. President to take a second look at the issue of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was initially arrested, he was 46 or 47 years old, and now he's about 57 years old, and still in detention, still on trial. And it is important that we bring all the spectacle to a conclusion and free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu as we are demanding for.
I wanted to take you up on that rhetoric you made about the president granting clemency to 175 inmates and ex-convicts. Now, you know that the presidency is defending this as a legitimate exercise of constitutional powers of mercy. Now, given that you have been authorized by Nnamdi Kanu to interface with the federal government on his behalf, do you believe, now considering that he had, that Court of Appeal had discharged him in 2020, do you believe that Nnamdi Kanu should be a candidate for presidential clemency as well? Is that what you're suggesting? Have you explored this avenue?
Well, the clemency starts with a conviction. Nnamdi Kanu has yet to be convicted in any court in Nigeria. Rather, he's been acquitted. Most charges against him has been discharged by a Nigerian court. The problem previously was Nigerian court were adamant and were not obeying court orders. So we want this president, like I said, to be circumspect as to many discharges that has happened in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But on the whole, the president should be holistic. What is the best interest for the Southeast? For peace and stability in the Southeast, to have a reduction in high crime and criminality, banditry and assassination, starts from the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So it is important that the president understands that the Southeast must have to be made whole, that we can no longer continue to remain in silence and think that everything is going to be better. So what I'm pleading with Mr. President is, if he's listening today, Mr. President, we know that you are the original Jagaban, that you have the authority, constitutional authority, to bring these matters to a close by even invoking Section 174 of the Constitution to ensure that the discontinuation of the trial. Let us sit on a table, political round table, and seek common solutions to this. The Southeast are asking unequivocally for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The entire Nigerians, as you will see maybe on October 20th, will come out in droves to demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I believe that the president is a listening and attentive president, and I'm sure that he has heard various voices, and I'm sure that he's also looking for a solution on how to be able to solve this issue. I said previously that I will make myself available to come to discuss with the government at all levels. They've also availed me opportunities in the past, but for now, for all of us to come together and find a common solution that will bring about the discontinuation of the trial and the health situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to ensure that we have peace and stability in the Southeast. I think those should be the paramount issues to talk about.
All right, Honorable Aguocha.
And like you said, I've been given his mandate. Okay. I've been giving his mandate, yes, his legal mandate, to ensure that we negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria and to ensure that we seek a political solution that will bring all this to an end.
All right, very well said, Honorable Aguocha. First question, I would like to ask a couple, if you don't mind. What do you think recommended you, yes, for the role that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given you as the negotiator with the federal government, given that you are also part of government one way or the other? But I also heard you say something akin to conspiracy of silence, even in the National Assembly, as far as Nnamdi Kanu's issues are concerned. What recommends you for this role, and what specific holistic move do you think that you have made as Southeast, as Igbo nation, to consider what Ohaneze has always, tried to say, that it is political solution that can ultimately free Nnamdi Kanu? I'm asking this because you are also endorsing the protest, peaceful protest, we've been told, but then you are endorsing it on the one hand, and then on the other hand, you seem to be asking for a political solution. Do you think that the two can cohabit peacefully, given that you even use, yes, the word hatred when it comes to matters of the Igbo? So I'm trying to put all these things together to say, where precisely do you stand? Yeah. A protest or peaceful negotiations to get Nnamdi Kanu sorted?
The Americans say you can walk and chew gum at the same time. So I can still support the protest because it is a guarantee of the Constitution. Like I said, Section 40 of the Constitution guarantees the right for peaceful assembly, okay, and association. So Nigerians are guaranteed to that. I'm also a Nigerian. If I feel that I need to protest against the silence, against the culture, repeated culture of silence, in respect to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the injustice that permitted to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then it is my right as well, despite also being in government, to say, no, this is my primary constituent, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that I do not like how he's been treated, especially the administration of criminal justice, especially as it held in regards to his health conditions. So on that side, I do not see that it is
now particularly
unusual or
extraordinary
for me to endorse such. Anywhere we can get Nigerians to come and put pressure on the government to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is adequately taken care of, to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, then that assembly, peaceful assembly, has my endorsement. Then on the other hand, I'm the representative of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I've known Nnamdi for a very long time. We went to primary school together. He was my junior. Went to secondary school together. We lived in the same Omahe. He's my constituent. So it is my responsibility in government to speak not just for him, but for many others in that gap of injustice. So it's my responsibility as well. Now, for him to have given me the mandate to negotiate means the highest confidence that he has and trust that he has in me, to know that I will stand by him unequivocally regardless of the circumstances, and that I will be there to speak up to ensure that his matter is given a national urgency that he has been given right now. So On that basis, I am confident that with my relationship with my colleagues, with my relationship with other people in government, that we can bring about a political solution. Initially,